Becky Liddon, I'm founder of Sensory Spectacle. This video is part of a series where I'm answering your questions about sensory processing difficulties. I've been given questions from parents and professionals, and it's all to help create a better understanding and awareness of sensory processing difficulties. Share the videos with your friends and families and colleagues, but also subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you don't miss any. So our second video in our winter series is all about going to a party. You will probably, during the Christmas and New Year season, have some kind of party that you've been invited to or that you're arranging, whether it's a family party, whether it's a friend's party, whether it's a work party. Now for many of us, they're really exciting times, and we can think about new outfits and the colours that we're going to decorate the room with and the kind of music that we're going to have. But for some people with sensory processing difficulties, they can be really overwhelming situations to be in, but situations which they also want to be in. So I'm going to explain some of the reasons as to why parties may be difficult for some people with sensory processing difficulties, but the things that we can consider. So what can we consider to help someone enjoy a party a little bit more? So at parties, let's think about, it's going to be really busy, there's going to be lots of people. So if someone finds it difficult to be aware of their body awareness, so that proprioceptive input, or the vestibular input, so moving around a space, or the tactile awareness, so someone might not like to be near lots of people because of maybe the anxiety of someone brushing past them. Busy environments generally are going to be louder as well, so for people who are hypersensitive to sound, it can be a really difficult place for them to be in because of the uncertainty, the unpredictability of how intense that sound's going to be. Therefore, it's also going to be noisy because of the music and because of the other things that we're having at the party. So if there is music, maybe think about, is there something you can take with you? Have you got some headphones? Have you got another way that you can help to regulate yourself or support your child in order to help them to feel more comfortable with the noisiness of that environment? For people who seek out, so are hyposensitive to sound, the environment, the sound, the busyness, the music, the enjoyment, the laughter can be really exciting for them and they'll enjoy it. But we also need to recognise that when someone's threshold has reached, that we might recognise the opposite, so someone who then becomes overwhelmed with that input. And so we have to be aware that for some people, even if they seek out a sensation, when it becomes too much, we need to be able to offer a space for them to be able to regulate themselves in. So if you know someone that seeks out sound, you may still recognise that actually the party environment can overwhelm them. Maybe it is the amount of people, maybe it is the way that they're really trying to organise their visual processing so that they don't get overwhelmed with all of the flashing lights and the colours and the patterns of clothing. So think about, have you got a separate space? It could just be in the car, it could be in the toilet. I know lots of adults that will regulate themselves by having regular toilet breaks just to try and close off from all of the busyness and excitement that's happening in the party. Thinking about the decoration in the space, are there flashing lights, are there pattern lights, is there lots of reflective surfaces, so mirrors, the foil decorations that we might have at Christmas time, fairy lights, anything that has a high reflection can be incredibly painful for people who are hypersensitive to visual information. Also, lights that move around can be really disorientating for some people who might find vestibular and proprioceptive processing a little bit more difficult. So we need to think about how can we support them to know where they are in that space. It might be that they're wearing something that's a little bit more weighted, so they're a bit more aware of where they are, so they're feeling more grounded. Or it might be that they wear a layer of clothing which really just helps them to feel where their body is in that space, so that then the lights don't distract the feeling of how they can then move throughout that space. Now, I've mentioned parties are really exciting times. It might be someone's birthday, it might be a Christmas party, it might be a family occasion. But those emotional feelings can overwhelm as well. And for people who find it difficult to recognise those interoceptive feelings, so those internal feelings of when I'm hungry, when I'm tired, it's easy that the external sensations, so the sounds and the lights and the tastes and the textures and my body awareness, can overwhelm my awareness of feeling those emotions. So if I am really excited, I might be trying to process everything else around me, and actually those internal feelings are really difficult for me to express. On the other side, we might notice people who really do show their excitement and love being at a party, but we recognise there's a really small, a really low threshold, and we might recognise they become really overwhelmed with that excitable feeling. So it might be that they're dancing and they're playing with their friends, but maybe they push a little bit too hard, or they clap their hands really loudly, and for other people that might be really frightening. But we need to recognise that these are all signs of someone enjoying themselves. So how can we communicate that to other people that are at the party as well? There's lots of games, there's lots of fun, but we need to remember that these can also be unpredictable. So for some people who need time to be able to regulate, can you help to prepare a child or an adult before they go to a party? Can you set out some guidelines so make sure they know that it's okay to take some time out and they don't have to be in the party for the whole 2 hours that it's going on?